Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And I got to start with this from X's in my future. Guys, be honest. How many times you all refresh your portfolio every day? You know, wait until XRP really starts to break out. You're going to be checking your portfolio nonstop. There's going to be sleepless nights ahead for XRP holders. You know, that's why I tell you, when the market dips, you just sit back and do nothing, because the real excitement is coming over the coming weeks. And as things start to really amp up, I'm telling you, you will be checking your portfolio every single minute of the day, watching it go higher and higher in value. XRP Army rejoices over this bullish portion in the White House report. They're talking about the cross-border innovation as a national priority. You know, I've seen a lot of these Bitcoin maxis try to spin this as a great thing for Bitcoin. It really isn't. All they said is we're just going to continue forward and not sell off our Bitcoin. And if we end up with more Bitcoin through illicit activity and seizures, then so be it. But the White House told you what this is really about. It's about how they strengthen the U.S. dollar through cross-border payment innovation. XRP is built for cross-border payments. That's all you really need to know. That's how you know you are holding the future. If you can't see it yet, you are going to sell way too soon. XRP is now available on RedotPay. Great news. We're excited to share that XRP is now officially supported on the RedotPay app. Users can now deposit and spend XRP through RedotPay, unlocking great flexibility and convenience when interacting with digital assets globally. I don't know who's buying things with XRP, because I would never buy anything with my XRP. I would buy things with worthless fiat, worthless US dollars, before I ever spent any of my XRP. But I think this is great going forward. Like when XRP's at really high price points and people are ready to start shopping with some of their XRP, at least this opens up more options. And if you could spend a cryptocurrency like XRP, more people would end up buying XRP over time. BlackRock will file for an XRP ETF one day. Director of Digital Assets at BlackRock, Maxwell Stein, will speak at RippleSwell this year. So some people are saying that BlackRock will file for an ETF right after RippleSwell. Other people are saying it's more about tokenization. BlackRock, Larry Fink, tokenization through one single ledger. Then RippleSwell 2025, BlackRock, head of digital assets, will be there. Bitcoin is the stepping stone for tokenized securities. Wait until BlackRock starts deciding to tokenize Bitcoin. That will eventually happen. And then it will be running across all these other networks. They're going to tokenize those Bitcoin ETFs because BlackRock wants to tokenize everything of value. But I think it's going to be a combination of things, with BlackRock sending their guy to RippleSwell this time around. Most likely, they will eventually file for the XRP ETF. I think it's just too soon still. The day they file, that will be go time. Then all of the ETFs will get approved shortly after. ISO 222 compliant tokens actively tokenizing real-world assets with documented use cases. XRP, IOTA, XLM, Algo, HBAR, each documented in the race to tokenize all real-world assets. It's not just going to be one network. All of these ISO compliant tokens will be part of tokenization. It's already happening on all these other networks. But this is why you diversify as a crypto investor. I always diversified across ISO compliant tokens because this way I'm literally holding everything that's going to move all the money. Because XRP is going to move money, but XLM is also going to move money. IOTA is going to move money. HBAR is going to move money. XDC is going to move money. You see where I'm going with this. So if you want to hold what's going to move all the world's money, you diversify across these ISO compliant tokens. Every one of them is still very undervalued right now. XRP perpetual futures have outperformed Solana in trading volume for the first time on Kraken Exchange, marking a significant shift in market dynamics. You know, XRP is going to continue to outperform the rest. It's gonna outperform Bitcoin, it's gonna outperform Ethereum, Solana. I even think once the ETFs go live, if you have Solana ETFs and XRP ETFs, I still think the XRP ETFs will outperform the Solana ETFs as well. You know, everything that you see on the mainstream media news where they're pushing Solana all the time, that's the next narrative. They push either Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now Solana. Soon, they're all going to be pushing XRP. They're going to have no choice but to push the XRP narrative because it is the future and it's eventually going to be the #1 cryptocurrency. This comes from Mr. Man. Bank Policy Institute had commented on Ripple National Charter License application and requests the review confirmation be prolonged for 60 days. This takes the 60-day period to Saturday, September 20th, 2025, should this be accepted. Now, they can fast-track this license under emergency situations. But this would also happen during alt season. Ripple getting that national charter license at the same time alt season is happening. You see what's going on. It's one catalyst after another. And people are still talking about the Ripple IPO as well. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon because Ripple really doesn't need the money. I don't think they're going to rush to do an IPO. And if they were to do one, I think it would most likely happen later in 2026, if at all. But this is going to be a big deal. Imagine Ripple becoming a bank. We would all be the branches. And Michael Branch says, "Nuff said." Remember Jim Rickards? He talked about ICE 9 and things like that. He also said this. People are saying it's not my idea of a reliable source. That said, even the IMF needs devs, and I'm sure Ripple has some good ones. That doesn't mean XRP will be a reserve asset. More likely, it's an ESDR. I don't think XRP needs to be an ESDR either. I think it would be great if XRP was moving ESDRs around because that would still get it to a very high price point. But XRP, the IMF always seen it as a high valued stablecoin that they could actually use. And when they said stablecoin, they didn't mean XRP pegged to $1. They mean it's less volatile, but sitting at a very high price point, moving value all day long. But who knows? XRP also does fit the description of an ESDR. And again, it would be higher than 4 digits. So when Jim Rickards said that, that made a lot of people think back then, what's the future for XRP? Honestly, I still see it as the world's bridge currency. Xena XRP says, this is becoming a real problem, and unfortunately, it will happen to many of you who are showing their real face saying, I just bought 20,000 more XRP when XRP dips 5 cents. While you love to brag in front of less fortunate than you, be assured that the thieves read your post as well and probably know your location already. They are really patient and plan for this month, if not years. You are basically buying crypto for them, and they see you brag about it, which is even more of a challenge for them. I know for certain that many crypto influencers will deal with that soon. One of my friends, who is very famous influencers, had to move out twice from her $1 million homes because she was being targeted by people who found out where she lived. Remember, this world is much bigger than X. People see you, watch you in silence. So it's better you stay under the radar. And you see, CNN, thieves target crypto investors in violent attacks. This is going to become a real big problem in the very near future, even bigger than what it is right now, because people cannot stop bragging about how much crypto they are holding, how much crypto they are buying. I see it all day long on X. People just have to be out there showing their bags. And let me tell you something, if you think it's a flex, it's making you a target. People are noting this all day long. You are going to be a future target if you do this. You know, there's no reason to tell anyone when you get rich. If you plan to move off the grid, so be it. Just move off the grid. And if you really know what XRP is, I see all these people that have YouTube videos and everything. If they really knew what XRP is going to become, how big it actually is, they would never be showing their face. The Bearable Bull years ago said that one time, and it stuck with me ever since. He said, why would you ever make yourself a target in the future? And I really believe that. I believe if you know what XRP is and how big XRP is going to get, you will never, ever talk about how much you're holding. Remember, I told you in countless videos, soon, if you're holding 1,000 XRP, you will be a legend in the very near future, because most people won't even be able to accumulate 100 XRP as the price continues to rise. We are on the verge of institutional adoption. Institutional adoption is going to lead to mass adoption. Do you honestly think XRP is going to be sitting around $20 or $50? Absolutely not. It's going to be a 4 or 5 digit asset quicker than people think. This is why you always stay safe out there, and always keep your crypto safe as well. I mentioned Ondo in a video, and somebody said, how do you know it's a great project? Well, Crypto Reviewing, and they do great reviews on crypto, they gave Q&T a 10 out of 10, and I totally agree with that. And they also gave XRP great reviews as well. They are spot on. Here's what they gave Ondo, a rating of 9.3 out of 10. So you see, project 10 out of 10, backed by BlackRock and Coinbase. Utility, Ondo is used for real-world assets, yield, liquidity, bridging, payments, and DeFi tools. Roadmap, 10 out of 10, developing Ondo chain, additions to the existing 10-plus chains and 120-plus projects on Ondo. Team, 9 out of 10, executive team of 20-plus people. Previous experience with Goldman, Bridgewater, Millennium, and MakerDAO. Social, 10 out of 10. Ondo has 346K followers on X with an average of 1,000 plus likes per post. Tokenomics, 6 out of 10. Ondo has a 10 billion max supply with 31% in circulation. 6.9 billion released until 2030. I don't think that's such bad tokenomics compared to what Ondo is doing, real-world asset tokenization. Partnerships: BlackRock, Coinbase, PayPal, MasterCard, Morgan Stanley, XRP, and so on. Exchanges: Coinbase, Kraken, Crypto.com, Bybit, BitGet, MEXC, KuCoin, Gate.io, and more. List Ondo. And the narrative is real world assets, $16 trillion. Honestly, that $16 trillion is too low. The World Economic Forum says $837 trillion by 2030. They want to tokenize everything. So I think that narrative is a bit low. And the risk to reward is low. But it's sitting at 9 cents right now. I think it's even lower with the latest dip. I think it went down under 9 cents. But this is a cryptocurrency that you buy and you forget about it. You buy a decent sized bag of it, maybe a few thousand, whatever, while the price is cheap, and you put it away and don't think about it, and then come back a year or two from now and see where that coin is, because I think it's going to shock a lot of people. But I just wanted to cover that really quick because Ondo's bringing a lot of value to the XRP ledger as well. But like I always tell you, until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.